Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm All Things Sugar and Shade Sade. Hey! This is the recap. This is where I recap my favorite reality TV shows. And right now I'm talking Love Island USA Season 7 Episode 3. And it's a juicy one still. Can't lie. We've had so much going on. We had Huda finally telling Jeremy that she's a mum. He didn't take it well. He didn't take it well. We had Olandria get into it with Huda and Taylor, and then they played a very, very savage game of state your case, where we found out people's body counts, how many times they said I love you, and all of that good stuff. Before we get into everything, make sure you hit that like button. Please do that now. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this, and leave some comments for me too, because I absolutely love them and I want to know what you think about the episode. This episode, to me, I'm going to give it another 8. Like, I think this is a very strong start to Love Island USA. I think we had a little bit of romance. We had a little bit of disagreements. We have a few revelations as well. So there was a lot going on. I think it was very, very, very well done. Shout outs to the producers. Okay. Shall we get into it? So I've got so many notes on this one. Okay, we started the evening just after the recoupling. So Nick basically was saying that he wanted to get out of his comfort zone, and Bella is definitely his type, but the relationship hasn't elevated anywhere. So he just thought, just take a chance with Cierra, which kind of makes sense as well. She's into him, he's into her. Bella weren't really giving him much. They're physically attracted to each other, but do they get on as people? At the moment, we're not really seeing that. It definitely seems like he's got more of a connection with Cierra. Nick did say in the hut that this wasn't easy for him and he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't want to upset anybody. And I think you can see that with him, Taylor gave his thoughts. I think he was talking to some of the guys and he gave his thoughts on Olandria, and he basically was saying that he thinks that she's weird for the way that she acted. So when she came back from the recoupling, when he came back, when he had to go and sit down again, she kind of like moved her seat, and he didn't like that. And Jeremiah was just like, well, so she can kiss someone in the blind challenge, but you can't stand up to show your interest. And it is that part, really, because it's a double standard. Like, you literally kiss someone. All he did was stand up. Now, should he have given you the heads up? Probably, but I don't think she indicated to him that she was interested in Ace in any way. So I feel like they're equally matched on that part. Well, not even equal, because a kiss is worse than standing up for someone, isn't it? If you're supposed to be in this committed thing, or not even committed, but still trying to get to know each other. Now, in this episode, you see a lot of Ace trying to convince Jeremiah that he should be encouraging Huda to free up herself and get to know other people in the villa, i.e. him. And it's not even like, you're not slick, Ace. I don't know why he's doing this, but basically he was getting on to Jeremiah and just saying like he's encouraging everybody to get to know everyone. And he asked Jeremiah, oh, so do you think Huda's approachable? And he was just like, would you like, so what if she's not? Like, that's fine. Like, it's not, it's why do I care? I think, Ace is trying to be Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's what he's trying to go for at the moment. One thing they do agree on, though, is that just Huda's commentary while they were in the recoupling, when she was saying like, oh, are you treating the girls like this? That, you know what, it's only 2 days. So, what do you mean about treat them like that? It's like, that's the purpose of the game, to get to know people. So, or the purpose of, it's not a big deal. She didn't have to like dog them like that. Like, it's a little bit too much. It was unnecessary. So then we see Bella talking to Olandria, and Bella is like super upset. She says, she was feeling vulnerable. She's feeling shocked. But while they're talking, they can see Huda talking to Shelley, and Huda looks like she's crying. Actually, she's not even just look like she's crying. She's crying hard. Like she can't even get the words out. She's crying that hard. So we cut to Huda, and Huda is basically really upset with the way Olandria spoke to her. And she was just like, why did she say that to me in front of everybody? She could have said it privately. Like she thinks it's super rude. And the tears are falling thick and fast. And she's also said, like, you know, she's supposed to be like a sister, like she should be talking to me like a sister. And just like these fast friends, like it's too early for all of that. It's too, let it marinate a little bit so you can see who gets on with who. Bella then explains to Olandria that she might have taken it, what you said, the wrong way, that she might have taken it as you're saying that she's doing too much, which to me, that's how I read the situation. I don't know about you lot. You lot let me know in the comments, like, did you read it like that as well? Because that's how I read it. Like, you're doing too much, like, stop talking. Like, but I think she was trying to smile and be like, like, can we just drop this? Like, you know, doing that type of thing. So it wasn't properly picked up on camera. Little does she know that they pick up everything. So then when she's in the heart, Olandria does say, like, you know, the first set of tears have been caused by me, which I think is a slightly odd thing to focus on. Do you know what I mean? I guess it's a fact, but yeah, slightly odd. She was saying that she didn't mean it like that, and actually she wanted to talk about it later because it would be like some juicy like talk for the girls. And yeah, I can kind of see that, but it could have been said in so many different ways, you know? And she did say, I don't want people to think that I'm a mean girl, because she's not. And I think that that is the thing. Unfortunately, when you go onto these shows as a Black woman, you are tone policed at the end of the day. Like everything that you say is probably more geared to the negative if you're kind of like neutral or more of like a stoic person and that type of thing. You're not super happy, or, you know, like giving off that happy vibe. Like it's easy for people to focus on the negative of what she's saying. I definitely think there's some nuance there. I think she was trying to get her to stop talking, but she just didn't do it in such the nicest way. But at the same time, I think that Huda overreacted to what that was. She should have like read the room and just been like, But at the same time, these girls don't know each other. They literally just met. So they don't know how emotional each other is. They don't know how anyone's going to react to anything. So, you know, it's early days for them. Also, just to note that Austin did talk to Shelley, and he was like surprised that she didn't stand up. Shelley's saying that she's not super bothered by it, but it did shock her because she wasn't expecting it. And she did say that if I was a betting person, I would have put $100 on Austin, you know, staying seated, and she would have lost her money. And yes, she would have, because she doesn't know who she's dealing with at all. No one, they don't know who they're dealing with at all when it comes to Austin, and I still don't believe him. I think him standing up was like a super massive sign to say, don't trust me, I'm not who you think I am. Also, Charlie was super upset by Shelley not standing up. He was basically banking on her on standing up. So yeah, he's a bit miffed at that. I don't know. Because they did have a kiss, they had a talk, they had a kiss, but I do think in that kiss on the dog, she was holding back. She was holding back. I think he could have read it wrong. Nick and Cierra, however, are getting on like a house on fire. Nick basically tells her, fuck the noise, like, let's just do us, which I thought was kind of sweet. But he did say in the hut that his head is still scrambled. So, like, he likes Cierra, he likes how he feels with Cierra, but he still has a thing for Bella. And I think he's, like, obviously still attracted to her as well. And that doesn't just turn off. And it's only been 2 days as well at this point. He did tell Cierra also that what did he tell her? He told her that the boys said that they haven't seen him smile like the way he smiled when he came back from the hideaway. And I'm just like, well, they don't know you. But it was kind of sweet that he shared that with her, so it made her feel good, you know? And Cierra, you know, she's a super confident girl. She's like, yeah, I got my man. She's excited to be sleeping in bed with him. And yeah, she's happy. She's excited. And she could definitely see potential with Nick as well, because she's attracted to him and they get on like a house on fire. My thing though is, will Nick stay loyal? That I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about. So then we see Huda and Olandria chat. They go to Soul Ties to go and talk. Olandria basically just says to her, like, look, I didn't think I was the one responsible for your tears. And she kind of said, like, I thought you was actually going to say something, like go in on them, so say something much worse. And Huda's like, no, that's not what it was. Olandria says that her and Shelley looked at each other and they was thinking this is going to be like juicy girl chat for later on. Also said that she didn't realize that in the moment that she hurt her feelings, she does realize that she could have said things differently or actually say nothing at all. And I'm just like, yes, exactly. Both of you could have just kept and said nothing at all. There was no need to say anything in that moment at all. They could have dealt with it later. Huda, you know, her thing was like, you know, I tried to stick up for you, be there for you guys because, you know, it's not right. But she's literally still crying though, like proper tears. Olandria is like, you know, trying to kind of, you know, turn the conversation around. She's just like, you know, you're my girl, like you're a girl's girl to the core. And that's what I love about you. Like, you know, trying to give some positivity there. Huda's warming to it, which is nice. And they're able to, you know, turn it around. And she says, Olandria tells her that she loves her, like, don't ever change. And Huda's like, I love you too. So it's nice. Olandria did say that she's going to get it together. Yeah, she says she's going to get it together. She promises. So there was that. And I just thought generally nice save, like, because that could have escalated into something unnecessary, but they were able to like bring it back. And that was really kind of cute. The full blown tears were overreaction as far as I'm concerned, but I get like emotions are high and Olandria could have spoke to her in a better way, to be fair. She could get the same point across by saying it in a nicer way. However, they are still talking and Taylor then comes over and interrupts the conversation. So then Taylor, obviously he wants to talk to Olandria because he's not happy with the way that she acted when he came back from standing up to go sit down again because he wasn't picked. Olandria says, my thoughts are actually scattered at the moment, you know. Taylor said that he stood up because he's interested in exploring and he hasn't really even talked to Cierra yet. And her point is like, look, what I'm confused about is that how does, you know, you having this quick conversation with her trump anything that we had? And actually, you could have even still spoken to her. You didn't need to stand up to prove a point to do that. Do you know what I mean? And I think that this whole thing is about being embarrassed. Like, I think he embarrassed her a little bit with this. And she didn't like that. She's talking and she's like, he jumps in and is like, but yeah, she's just like, hold on. I'm not finished, which made me laugh. She's like, I've got a point and I'm going to say it now. You're not going to interrupt me. But she did say that that was the thing that made her irritated the most because she knows that they're open. So it shouldn't be like that. Taylor was saying like, look, it wasn't my intention or anything like that. He didn't really know what was going to do. And she's just like, well, you jumped up like so quickly. So what are you talking about? Like you obviously had it in your mind. He's like, no, that wasn't the case. And her thing is when she's talking in her heart, it's just like, again, like that short conversation was enough for him to be like, okay, cool. Let me just try and risk it for this moment without even giving her a heads up, to be honest, you know. And maybe he doesn't like her as much. That's and again, that's part of her fear of why she's reacting like this, or what I understand it to be. But he does say to her, like, look though, hun. He didn't say like that. I wasn't going all nuts when you kissed someone else. You know, you can't be coming at me. You kissed someone else. All I did was stand up, you know, and I think it's fair. It's fair. He said that his feelings for her haven't changed either. So I think it's fair. It's fair. It's fair. It's more than fair, to be honest. She did appreciate him explaining, but at this point, she was just like, well, there's still other ways that you can look at this, you know? She's not letting up at all. So they agree to disagree, but I do think it's a bit rich that she kissed someone and he just stood up like, come on, man, like, be reasonable. Be reasonable. So it's nighttime now, and so they're all getting ready to go to bed. And while Shelley is on the way to somewhere, she bumps into Ace. They go to the speakeasy for a chat. And I think it was quite a cute conversation. Ace did say that Austin's action caught even him off guard. And then he does like this cheesiest thing. He's leaning back and he's like, smell my t-shirt, like, smell right here. And she obviously leans to go and like sniff it. And then he kisses her on her head. That was very cute. That was very, very, very cute. Seriously. I was just like, but then I was just like, oh my God, are these the games that brothers are playing to get kisses? Like, it's too funny. So that was a little moment that they shared. And then when they were going back to the room, she went in first and then he waited for her. So to say that like they weren't together, like, come on, man. It's okay. It's actually okay. I mean, he is single after all. Do you know what I mean? And Austin has literally just stood up for someone else. So it's fine. And then just a quick reminder, the current singles are Bella, Ace, and Charlie, and they are all vulnerable at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen to them right now, but they are all single. One thing they did show was Huda and Jeremiah getting very intimate, getting very, very, very intimate in the bed. I don't know how far that's gone, but you could see covers being clenched. So yeah. Who knows? They're doing bits. They're doing bits, man. They're doing bits. I don't know how this is gonna pan out, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared for Huda right now. I really am. So it's morning. The boys are making breakfast again. Ace, he made breakfast for Olandria. Where's in my nose? Bella, Olandria, and Shelly. Taylor also made a plate for Olandria as well. So she got 2 plates. So she got some pancakes and all sorts and everything like that. I think maybe that's like I'm sorry plate or something, or I still like you plate or something like that. We see Huda and Jeremiah talking and they're having breakfast together. They said they feel like the parents, like the mum and dad and everything. And oh God, they're like saying, oh, because we're so emotionally mature and everything. These times now, Bella's got a whole secret. She's got a whole secret. She said that she is closer to telling him. She was saying in the heart she is closer to telling him, but she feels like there's no perfect time. And when the time is right, the time is right, which is fair to be. I think that in theory, but I don't know. At this point, I was just like, I don't know about this girl. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't trust him like that. One thing that they showed, which was absolutely wicked work from the producers, was showing Cierra and Nick together, showing them together. They're getting on, they're having chats, they're talking about Shrek, all this kind of stuff. And then they go to the photo booth. Then you see Bella and Huda talking, and Bella is almost like beside herself, like she's crying and everything. She's really upset about the whole thing. She's feeling very vulnerable because she says that she's been overlooked in the past and it feels like it's happening again. And Huda's, is trying to talk some life into her and telling her like to believe in herself and that sort of thing. What else did she say? She said, don't dumb yourself down, don't dim your light, don't put yourself in a box, because you're bad as shit, bitch. That's what she said. But she was trying to like boost her self-confidence and her self-esteem. But they kept on showing these cuts of like Bella literally in tears, yeah. And then he cut to Nick and Cierra in a photo booth, laughing, giggling, having the time of their life, like building the foundations of a relationship. It was just like, oh God, this is painful. Why would you do this? This is mean. It's mean. What is good though is that later on, Nick does actually talk to Huda, and Huda just says to him, tell her what is what. Like, you can't be saying 50-50. You clearly like one more than the other, so let her know what's going on. And I think it was cool that she said that, because he was in a bit of a bubble, like, yeah, I'm just going to focus on Cierra today. Like, you haven't even spoken to Bella. Like, are you okay? Come on, man, common decency. And also you saw Olandria and Taylor have a conversation where Olandria apologized for how she reacted to what happened the night before, which was cute. Taylor accepted, and he was just like, I'm not going to hold any grudges against you, which was really nice. And then they started getting on again as well. It's just like they got a lot of things in common. They both like gift giving as their love language and everything. He said on a scale of 1 to 10, he is a 12 out of 10 with gift giving. And he, kind of like pays attention to detail and that sort of thing. So who knows? I don't know if these guys got a future. We'll see. She still did say that she did feel blindsided, but she thinks that he still likes her. So Nick finally talks to Bella, finally talks to her. And it wasn't the conversation I thought it was going to be. So I thought that he was going to say to her, I think we should be friends or something along those lines. But he is still attracted to her. He's still interested in her. And he was basically saying like, oh, me and Cierra had a great time in the hideaway and I owe it to myself to get to know her, but I still want to talk to you. And she's just like, first of all, that's rich. What are you playing at? She said as well, because she was upset because she said, like, look, you made me look like a fool. You could have told me what it was. You could have told me that you were feeling her, but you had me sitting there like a fool at the end of the day. And I think that is fair. He did. He could have said something. He still maintains, oh, I didn't know until the last moment. It's just like, shut up, man. You did. You really did. I don't believe him. Nick is a mutt. He's an absolute mutt. Like, yeah, he really is. Now, he did apologize for making her look like a fool. He did apologize for that. And, you know, he's still interested. And she was just like, well, I'm the one that's single, so the ball's in your court. But she did say she is a bit of a cut-off queen as well. So confusing. So Bella's basically saying she still likes him. And he's saying, I still like you, but I'm going to be over here for the moment. I don't know how Cierra's going to feel about this long term. I don't know. Cierra does see Bella later on when she's talking to Olandria, and she interrupts their conversation. Olandria was asking Bella, how did her conversation with Charlie go? Because Bella spoke to Charlie, they kind of got on, but she says, oh, she's not really too sure. Cierra was just like, oh, he was so excited to speak to you. He was so excited, you know, hyping it up. And Bella was just like, yeah, it was good. But, you know, I think I like Nick. Which I absolutely loved. She was just like, I'm not gone. I'm not gone. Well done. She's like, you're gonna have a little fight on your hands, you know? And Bella asks her, is there anyone else that you like, or are we in the same boat? And mind you, Olandria is just like, literally like, she was all of us. Cierra just, you know, she looks around just like, yeah, I think we are in the same boat. Like, wow. These two, I don't know, man. And then Nick is just there in the distance. Just like, this guy, how did he even get here? So it's nighttime now, and we see Huda talk to Shelley. Basically, this conversation, Shelley is saying to her, you need to tell Jeremiah, because Huda was saying, like, you know, I nearly let it slip, because right now only Shelley and Olandria know that Huda is a mother, and I think she saw something in her closet or something like that, and she was going to say, oh, that's my daughter's, but Cierra was there, so she had to catch herself before she said it. And Shelley's just like, wait, have you not told? You ain't told him yet. And she was just like, no, that she's waiting for the right time. She just, you know, she says that people sometimes use it against you. She wants to make sure that his mindset is mature as well. I was just like, I don't know. I actually really don't know with Jeremiah. He could surprise us, but I doubt it. I really do. Underneath it all, Huda is afraid of rejection. She is scared that she might like him this much, and when he finds out, he's not going to want to be with her anymore. And Shelley's response to this is, at the end of the day, whether you tell him, you know, now or, you know, down the line, his reaction is going to be his reaction. So it's better you find out now sooner than later so you can know what you're dealing with. And I think Huda, she doesn't want him to think that she's deceived him. And I think she needs to tell him sooner. She really does. She's drawn it out way too long. So then they get a text and they play this game, which is called State Your Case, Boys versus Girls. And they get different categories and they have to rank the islanders like from least to most. And yeah, it was, what did we learn from this game? That the boys are hoes, I think, and maybe liars as well. So they had things like who has cheated the most. On the boy side, it was Austin, who's cheated 6 times. Like, damn, someone said that. Like, wow, that was a lot. Jeremiah cheated once and he did take accountability for it. Nick's one said 0, but he did look confused, and it turned out that he had cheated with someone as well. He was just like, look, he knows he fucked up and he lives with that. And now out of the girls, only Shelley has cheated, but only once as well. And yeah, she was just like, well, you know, it was like a small thing. Her and her homegirl went out and they kissed, and that's what it was. They talked about how many people they've had sex with in one day. For the boys, Austin, 4 people. I don't believe this guy. Seriously, he is not right for Shelley at all. 4 people in one day. Nick was 2, Charlie was 1. On the girl side, Huda was 2 and Shelley was 2. Wait, Jeremiah was 2 as well. He did say it, but I don't think they showed it. Ace was shocked by this, and he was a bit judgy, actually, for Huda. And he was more concerned about what Huda's ones were, I think, and basically pressed her for, like, what was that about? And she said, like, well, the first guy didn't satisfy me, so she had to go with someone else to get the job done, apparently. The next one, who said I love you the most? So apparently Nick has said it 50 times. 50 times, which is wild. And he said he's trying to make it 51. Cierra, better watch out, boy. Jeremiah was 10 times. 10 times. Wow. The most on the girl side was Shelley with 2 and Huda with 2 as well. Then they asked, like, who has sent the most nudes? And the most on the boys' side was Austin with thousands. And he was just like, oh, you know, if it looks good in the morning. Brother, like, who could describe themselves as feral? Nick. Austin is feral. He's acting like a feral somebody. He absolutely is. Thousands. And then Nick was 800. He said, oh, because he was in a long distance relationship. And Bella was just like, so was I. And I haven't done that. So what the hell? Taylor was 5. And I think Ace was 3. Charlie said 0. And then it's just like, well, it depends what you call a nude. Well, Charlie, you're a liar, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? On the girl side, Huda was 20. She was the most. Then Olandria was 15. And Shelley and Cierra both were 5. And Bella was 0. And then we went to body count. Yeah, overall body count. The boys, oh my God. So the most was Charlie with 108, then Austin with 104, Jeremiah with 32, Ace with 25, Nick with 22, and Taylor with 21. I don't believe Nick. I don't believe Nick for a second. I think he's definitely higher than that. I think Shelley said there's nothing innocent about Austin at all. Like, absolutely. He acts like he's like, you know, do you know what I mean? This introvert, and really in depth, he's got a high libido, as he said, or a freak of some sort, you know. And on the girl side, Cierra was 18, and she said, anyone who's got a problem with that needs to get laid. I like that. Huda was 13, Shelley was 12, Olandria was 8, and Bella was 1. Overall, that was all their business out there. And overall, the boys won. They were very, very, very happy. The girls weren't too happy about it at all. Then quickly after, they did have this quick conversation about, like, what they thought was the most shocking. I think they're just like productions making them talk about it, really. On the girl side, they were shocked by Austin, definitely. And Jeremiah also saying all the I love yous and everything. And Huda, this was like raising questions for Huda, because she was just like, in the beginning, she thought like, oh, he's kind of love bombing her, you know? And like, does he move with like that with other girls? Is that his thing, like his MO? I just want to remind them, I know like everyone in Love Island says like one day feels like a week, but it is 2 days. So what do you mean in the beginning? He's still love bombing you. If he's doing that, then he's still doing it. The process isn't over, you know? On the boys' side, they were saying that about Charlie basically being called a liar and everything like that. And he was just like, yeah, I kind of get where they're coming from. It's a bit of trash talk. It's not like he seemed to be taking it on the chin, really. And he was just like, you know what? They probably don't see me in a good light. And maybe they got the ick, but it kind of is what it is. Nick was kind of shocked how many times in a day Shelley and Huda had sex by different people, which was 2 for both of them. And Jeremiah was just like, look, I can't judge her. I can't judge her at all. And Ace then again with his, I don't like, he's not going to get Huda this way. I don't know what this guy, he's just winding up Jeremiah. So Ace was just like, well, how would you feel if he was like the first guy, you know, that, you know, the guy that couldn't satisfy her? Jeremiah was just like, under his breath, he was just like, what a dumbass question. Then we see Jeremiah and Huda having the talk. They're sitting at the dock, so they get a little bit of privacy away from everybody. She did ask him about all the I love yous and everything like that. And Jeremiah did say that most of that was in high school and he hasn't really done that so much like as he's grown older. Huda asks him the question like, what are your non-negotiables? So because she's fishing here, she's absolutely fishing. And you know, he was like, she must have like long-term friendship, she must be close to her family. Like she was trying to see like, is the child thing in there? Now I can't lie, yeah, I have been in this situation before where a guy has asked me like, oh, what's the worst thing I could say to you right now? And I was just like, you have a kid. But this was when I was younger though, and he did. So I was just like, oh, I know this trick. I've been on the receiving end of that. I didn't like that at all, man. And I hate being right. Oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, it didn't yield the response that she wanted. But anyway, we cut back to Ace and Taylor talking, and Ace is hating on Jeremiah again. He's a hater. Ace might be a little bit of a hater, you know, seriously. He was also annoyed by the love bombing aspect of things. He didn't like that. He kept on saying that Jeremiah is playing it safe and that shit doesn't seem real. So he is thinking that Jeremiah is a bit fake. And I think he's going to use that as a way to get Huda. Now, it might be easy for him now. We don't know yet. But he is really trying to be Mr. Steal Your Girl. He really is. I don't know about this way for you, Ace. I thought he was cute, man. You might just be a little bit annoying. So we go back to Huda and Jeremiah, their conversation, and she's, you know, saying like, I have so much to tell you, like I want to get to know you on a deeper level, but when I say what I'm going to say, like I want you to stay true to how you feel. Jeremiah's just like, what does this mean? Like he's not clicking. He's not getting it. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but he's not getting it. And she's really finding it hard to say. So she's pausing for a long in between and just staring at him. Then she says, like, there's a reason I'm emotionally immature and I'm not ashamed of it, but I didn't know how you'd react. She pauses. She's like, I really like you. Then he starts staring. She's like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm spooked. Like, what are you talking about? What's going down? She's like, I want to be honest with you. I want to trust you. I really like you. I'm a mum. Jeremiah's like immediately, oh my God, you're a mum? You're a mum? What, you're 24? At 24? She's like, yeah. How many kids do you have? 1. He's literally like, this is not happening. Like, block the noises out. Like, bro. She then says to him, look at me. And he's like, I can't. He's literally, I can't. And then they ended the episode. They didn't even do a tomorrow night or anything. Like, it was so dramatic. Now, I don't know. I have a feeling, obviously, he has to process this information because he's probably had a whole kind of like vision of what he wants their relationship to be like, because he's having a good time right now, you know. And like, if he's this kind of guy that says I love you quick and just gets involved, he's probably planned it all out, and this was not in the works at all. So I think it's going to take him a minute. He's probably going to be thinking about, how is this going to come across on screen as well? So we'll see how he manages it, and also how the villa reacts as well, because on the US one, they haven't had someone who's a mum or who has a child before. They haven't had that. So this is new territory. We'll see. But yeah, interesting. I really liked this episode. I thought it was giving so many different things. We learned a little bit about the islanders as well and their antics too. So that was cool. And I'm glad also that Huda has actually, you know, told the truth, and now she can, you know, talk about her child out loud and not kind of keep it a secret, because it's not a good place to be at all. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's my recap. Thank you so much for watching as well. If you made it this far, you know I love you the most. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please do it now. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and also leave a comment for me too, because that is my favorite thing in the world. I will be back. Well, I'm going to see how much I get done, because I'm going to Beyonce tomorrow. So I don't know how that's going to affect things and my schedule and that sort of thing. And I'm super, super, super excited. I'm really excited. But from Monday the 9th, I'm also going to be doing lives on Love Island UK, because that's when it starts. I'm going to be doing lives after the show, which for us, that will be around 10:30 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. So hopefully you'll join me then. I'm going to do like a little recap, and then also like take some calls as well if people want to come on and say what they think about the episode, and it should be fun. And that's going to be on my channel, Sade Salami Official. Thank you, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.